She's alive. Yes, the engine is in and running. Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped, and welcome back to Mulgari Cars. Now, I know it's been ages since Darren and I last gave you an update as to the progress of Project PP. There's been quite a lot happening in the background, so I'm going to get Darren on camera very shortly to tell you all about that. But loads has happened to the car since the last time we were here. The big thing is the engine's in and it's in its running in phase, but there's loads of work been done to bodywork. It's sat on its wheels, the stance is set, it's looking fantastic. There's still quite a lot to do, but some exciting things ahead. Now, this should be a good one. Let's find out exactly where we are with the magic little Mini Project PP.
Hi mate!
Hey.
All right? How are you?
I'm all right, more than once. How are you?
I'm average. Slowed down a little bit, but you know.
Just a bit. He's shagged his back up, basically.
What he said.
Really well as well. So
yeah, done a proper job.
Proper job. So that's hampered things a lot.
Slowed us down a bit.
Yeah. So apologies for the, if you like, the delay.
Huge delay.
Bearing in mind, we thought, hey, we'll get this finished by April.
Yeah. April next year.
We are turning into, what's that mini?
Project Binky.
Project Binky. We've like Project Binky Mark 2.
We're not. We're not doing that.
Hey, so mate, the engine's in, which is cool. It's in and it's running.
It makes noises.
It starts.
It does. It starts. It runs.
At the moment, it's in running in phase.
Yes.
Running in oil.
Yeah. So it's got running in oil in there to make sure we break in all of the new surfaces correctly, all the hardened surfaces and so on. It just ensures that everything breaks in, marries up, hardens properly, so that when we change it out for the fully synthetic correct oil, if you will, later on, she'll go.
Yeah, because I guess we did think, we could show the building of the engine and all that, and it just timings and busy schedules and stuff.
Both of us being super busy, so it's just kind of had to go together. I mean, the difficulty with it as well is there's a lot of stuff that you'd have to edit so much out. In a day of filming to click the engine together, that actually a lot of the intricacies will be lost. Yeah. So,
and the plan when we first started the car was never to have such a massive amount of work needed on the engine, right?
No, it was. My understanding was it had overheated, and then we got to. It looks like it's been at the bottom of the sea, and so it needed a lot more than we anticipated. But because we were in that far. And because of the criteria of what we were trying to go for, it made sense to do a bit more while we were in there. So I mean, it's a ground up build, isn't it?
Yeah. Now a few bits. It's going to be looking more pretty than that. There's still a few bits on because it's just running in.
There's a big fugly bit still in the middle, isn't there?
I was going to say that is pretty ugly, mate.
Yes, this is the original intercooler, purely just for running it up, really. After lots of looking at off the shelf ones, I couldn't really find anything that had the right. Not really aesthetic, that's not what we're looking for, but the right flow value and everything else. So we're creating one out of a couple of different ideas, which might be one we bring to market, you never know.
Yep.
With various dams and scoops and stuff in it to seal up against that bonnet vent nicely.
Yep.
And same with the air intake. I haven't really found anything that quite fits the job yet.
Yeah.
So they will be our own.
Work in progress.
Yes.
Yeah. And talking about work in progress.
Yep. It's got a chin.
It's got a smiley face.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
So that's a combination of mini bumper, you just doing some Darren magic.
Yeah, so it's actually a Cooper bumper.
Yeah.
Not an S, not JCW, it's just a bone standard Cooper bumper so that we didn't dismantle the aero stuff. And then we've created a wraparound splitter for the front, which has taken some inspiration from something else. Some of the eagle-eyed amongst them may notice, others may not. It wanted to be similar to the aero bumper with a bit more of a pronounced lip.
Yeah.
But for my money at least, it wanted to just lower that bottom edge and finish it off nicely. So we've kind of wrapped it up around into the wheel arches. Yeah. The intention for this is actually to make it a bolt-on piece. Like everything, when we're creating something new, I like to make it so it can be fitted and removed rather than blending it all in and making it one piece.
But completely one of one.
Yeah, that is entirely one of one.
Love that.
still slightly in development. It's not quite where I want it yet, but it's close.
I like these mold grips. Is that,
yeah, they're
an
aero tweak. That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's. And then, can we plonk the bonnet down because we're keeping the spot lamps, which I'm very pleased about. John, the owner, was like, the spot lamps are staying, which is good.
Yep.
These are lovely.
Scuttle scoops. Yes.
Carbon fibre.
Carbon. Yep. With mesh inside to catch all the bugs and stuff and jazz. And they function.
Yeah.
So this one is for your heater and your aircon.
Yep.
That one is actually the air intake into the air filter.
Cool. And then
scooping.
You'll have a new scoop here.
Yeah, so we'll have a carbon one in there as well. So
carbon fibre.
Carbon. Another bit of carbon.
So front end.
It's nearly there.
Nearly there. The important bit, the
noisy bit.
Noisy, oily bits there.
Oily bits.
Running in. Excellent. Where should we head next? Let's have a chat about here, because the really exciting thing is it's sat now on its wheels, on its suspension.
It is.
At its ride height.
The
stance is all set. So I reckon we have a chat. Well, let's come around this side first and we'll have a chat about the side details.
It sounds like a deal. Hi, mate.
Hi. We were trying to work out where we could stand with this. We wanted to show the side profile and the stance. These wheels,
perfect.
The wheel and tyre package, they look absolutely mega.
Bang on the body line where you want them to
Bang
be.
on the body line. What we really love is it's quite uncool in a way, because it's got a nice big high sidewall.
We've got a decent amount of sidewall,
Which is like people, oh no, it's low profile. And no.
Yeah.
There's two things there. One, you're going to get a mega ride quality.
Yep.
But Michelin have the sexiest sidewalls with this velveting, and it just shows it off. Something.
Yeah. And we fill the arches up quite well as well. So there's nothing not to like there.
So obviously all the weight's in the car, so that's as it is.
The car is pretty much all up as much as it's going to weigh, bar a couple of bumpers and silly bits and pieces. The engine, gearbox are in, seats are in at the moment, exhaust system's on, so it's all up weight. Yeah. And then it has been sat like this for a good few weeks as well, so it's pretty much settled. Yeah. That is more or less the stance we're going to have.
This looks wicked.
It's good.
And then, that's nice.
Yeah, little chop away, little detail.
It's just really. I know there's there's going to be a grill in there. We'll show you
there's a piece of mesh going in there definitely. We've got the other one over there.
And obviously the alignment of all these pieces and stuff.
Yeah, I mean they're all really just parked there for the moment to make sure that it does and it fits. I mean there are washer bottles behind these, so you can only open that gap up so far before you run into one for the headlamps, one for the windscreen washers. Yeah. So making sure we don't end up rubbing. And of course, then rub a hole in the washer bottle is the reason why we've had to test fit them a number of times. Yeah.
And again, one off.
Yeah, little detail pieces here and there.
But what I love about the wheels, this bronze colour on the wheels, is that colour we're going to have as an accent running through, which is really nice. We knew we were going to do that. But what I also like is the carbon fibre trim on these little scoops here. You're starting to run little bits of carbon fibre.
Tiny bits,
through there as well.
Don't overdo it.
At the moment, that mirror is chrome.
It's still bright chrome.
The one on the other side is
carbon up,
which I really, really like. It's just
a little splash of carbon because it's a grey base anyway. Yeah. The carbon, obviously we know it's got darker colour in the weave, but it's such a similar tone to this that you can place a couple of pieces without going mad. Yeah. Because we're not trying to make a full carbon fibre car here. No. But they're nice pieces when you're doing something custom and one-off and a bit performance-based. Yeah. Little pieces of carbon, why not?
Yeah. But the stance of this car, the camber you've got on it, you said you've got a 10mm rake front?
It's 10mm difference front to rear, which is rake, so nose down, which helps.
Very Adrian Newey.
There's a reasonable amount of camber front and rear, more at the rear, which obviously assists with the steering and everything else. But it's got, for my money at least, it's quite aggressive for a road car, but it will still at least ride and perform nicely, but you'll get that handling bump with it as well.
It's going to look wicked. Now, the other thing we didn't mention when we were talking about the front, these bumpers, obviously there's a whole bunch of spraying to be done.
Yes.
You're going to spray the bonnet, spray the bumpers, because then it's going to have something else which we haven't said yet, but we'll
later on.
So there's still quite a lot of body work.
Yeah, they'll all go in one full batch when we're ready and I'm happy with the fit of everything, and everything else, there's quite a number of pieces. A lot of the front end's got to be painted actually, stone chips and stuff anyway. Yeah. But they will all go together as one full batch, rather than panel by panel by panel, because then we can ensure we're painting it all together, the match is perfect.
Yeah. But no, stance. Knocked it out of the park there, sir.
Woohoo!
Now, we're gonna, the rear end of the car.
Yeah.
I think the front, I think you've this front air dam and front bumper looks wicked.
Yeah.
The bit I'm most excited about with this car
is what's going on
at the back. So should we head over there and you
go and have a
about
look
the
at what we've
bumper
got cooking over there?
that's going on the back of the car, because
Yes.
that is wicked.
Yep.
And the exhaust that's going to go on the back. We could share maybe what we're going to do.
It'll be a little bit more obvious when we're stood over there as to kind of where
what
we're going with
do.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's looking so good. But yeah, I really like those wheels.
I know you do. I know you do.
I know. And you got the little Mulgari centerpiece as well, which looks
Of
really
course,
cool.
just to tip it over the edge, why not?
Yeah. It's
getting there.
It is.
Hi, mate.
We're back. So, a couple of things we wanted to show you here. Yeah. This is the other wing, which
it is the other wing.
And you can kind of see, I can hold that up, you can see the grill in there.
Yeah.
But also just the bits of fabrication and your welding and stuff. There's quite a lot of work goes into it. I mean, it looks simple when it's on the car, but...
The idea is that if it looks effortless on the car, we've got it right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's a lot of faffing around and, yeah.
Now, I want to talk about this, and I want to talk exhaust. I think we have dropped some hints about what we're doing with the exhaust.
Yes.
Now, we've been working with Miltech. So the car has the Miltech system on it
Front
now
to back.
for running in, front to back. So from, is it all the way?
It's the headers, yeah.
Headers
so
all
it's
the way
back.
back.
All the way back through the cat, through the mid-pipe to the rear.
Which is very cool.
Yes.
However, we'll show you in a minute, at the moment, it's just got the normal standard 2-exit exhaust.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do that, do you?
Well, we still have two.
Yeah.
But I know on a Cooper S, I know on the Cooper S they always come out the centre.
Yeah.
That was a selling point. We had the conversation previously about the bottom of the Coke can for the standard tips and all that sort of jazz. And I think I've never really seen anybody do anything different with the R50 platform for the centre exit exhaust. So the standard Cooper has a single side exit.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, wouldn't it be cool to take the side exit and do a pair out here rather than all out the middle? Because we are trying to build something unique, aren't we? So to that end, there was also a previous conversation between us and with John about some form of a diffuser effort around the rear. The GP1 stuff won't fit. GP2 stuff definitely won't fit. So to do something diffuser-esque and create this exhaust system the way we wanted, we kind of finished up with something like this so far.
Which, can we...
We can have a little lifty-lifty, yeah.
Lifty-lifty. So, top end, this bit here...
Standard Cooper bumper.
Right.
Much, in fact, it's off the same car as the front one.
Yeah, okay. But then this bit...
This bit that we're grafting, we've got our aero tweaks on the ends again, haven't we? So
yeah. Oh yeah, the mold grip. Yeah,
mold grip aerodynamic
those, I reckon. Yeah. But there's only one hole in here, mate.
Yeah, well, I've only made one at this point. We've got another one to go in here. But at the minute, we're laying them in to try to make sure that they sit and they fit and I can get them to line up.
There's one there.
There's one there, there'll be another one here. And obviously what's currently coming out the middle has to be hacked. With the blessing of Miltech, I may add.
So
there have been conversations.
This is the bit where I find the stuff that you do, and you chuck it into a conversation. So, oh yeah, we'll just make some extra bits at the back. You're fabricating, so the centre exhaust comes down through the middle of the car, and then you have like
still divides.
It divides.
Goes into a pair of boxes.
Yeah.
And then it currently turns 90 degrees in and then 90 again and comes out the back.
Yeah.
It's not quite as simple as coming straight out of the boxes either. We've got to have a little and down at the same time. It's going to be really good fun.
That's technical.
That's welding technical term for that's a tight corner to get round.
Yeah.
What he said. So a little bit of jiggery pokery, as my old granddad would have said, to get the tips to sit where we want. We were originally going to try to retain the tips that are on the standard Miltech and just reuse them in our rework piece. But they're quite a small diameter as well. In the more modern era, Miltech have some lovely tips that just so happen to be a very similar size to the hole we've punched through there so far. So I'm going to speak very kindly to them and see if I can have a couple of those. And so we are still running a Miltech tip because it is a Miltech system, but adapted slightly to suit what we want.
And then the last bit, once the fabrication's done, again, colour-wise, some spraying and some...
Yeah, body colour. This down here, because we've got the element of the wheel arch panels in here, exactly like the front. If you look at the aero kit, which was on the car originally, which was a factory thing, that wheel arch element in the bumpers is painted on.
Yeah.
It's not a it's not a piece of plastic trim. So we need to kind of find a termination point on this piece for the wheel arch finish.
Yeah.
And obviously carry some of that detail across, and maybe with some highlights in there later on. We'll see.
See, I just think when the stance, and you can see it from this angle, the stance just looks so good. But when this bumper's on the back and you've got the front bumper with that chin spoiler, I just think it's going to look epic.
It wants to look like a wraparound kit that was created for that car without being too fussy. And like a lot of the stuff, yes, we've got big vents and we've got big chins and what have you. When it's all done and painted and finished, I don't want it to be a car that you'd walk past and it looks really, not a dig, max power.
Great magazine.
Whatever. I'd like it to look very much almost like the factory did a special, which is kind of what we try to do with most of the cars we do. So the execution's important, the scale, the way everything fits, it's all got to be right. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool.
Cool. Let's head over to the back because you've done a little thing on the back. I want to talk a tiny bit about the back, and then we can kind of summarise the next phase, which is the really. I mean, if you think we've done a lot of custom stuff on the outside,
yeah, the inside's going to.
The inside's going next level. Aero?
Yeah, no.
That's so cool.
Yeah, a little. I've never seen one.
No.
I figured, well, let's create something. It's only temporarily stuck on, so it hopefully won't fall off. The only thing that makes it slightly awkward is that you've got like a hook to hang your bag on.
Nice.
When you open it, look.
Yeah, but, you know.
Or for stabbing people.
Yeah, but you don't open the boot very often anyway.
No.
So this is what we're saying. So at the moment, you can kind of see the exit of the two
Miltech tips. Yeah, straight out the middle in the standard position, which is, you know, how they all are.
And obviously all of this will be hidden behind the bumper.
Yeah, so, I mean, this heat shield will need some adapting, but that's fine. It's all going to be part and parcel of the fun. But the plan was really to take this here and have it more kind of out here somewhere. And same on the other side.
Don't do that.
Sorry. We could have 4, but that's just getting too much. I think 2. 2 is nice and
just
balanced.
Like have a row, like half a dozen of them, just like that. I've seen it. You know, the picture.
Like a row of machine guns.
Yeah. No, I think that's going to look.
Yeah, I think a pair out
mega.
there, it's just different. You don't see it very often, and it's quite balanced as well. Then when you look at the rear of the car, it's not so kind of hodgepodge.
And then you've started some work on the hood. Now, interestingly, the original plan, when we kind of, me and you were chatting, we're like, let's get rid of the blue.
Yeah.
But John, the owner, really likes the blue.
He does.
And
I mean, to be fair, I don't think you'll see blue with grey very often.
No.
And actually, having had it for a while, as we discussed earlier,
it's growing.
I've come round to quite like the fact that you don't see blue hoods very often.
Yeah.
It's same as the interior. There's a lot of blue in there. We were deleting that, but because we've got blue up here, we're not going to delete all the blue out of the interior either.
So the next big bit of work. So I guess you've got to finish off the fabrication of the stuff we've been talking about
then we can
in
get
this
into
video.
Paint.
Get that to paint. But the next really big job is the interior. So we are going full custom interior.
There are some painted bits to go in there, which will go off when everything else goes away.
I'm trying to think, I can't remember. I should have looked back on the videos as to how much we've given away as to what we want to do, but
not very much.
Not very much. I don't
most
think.
of the bits.
Well,
I mean, we can give away a little bit.
So we're having new driver's seats.
Yes, driver and passenger seats.
But in the same colour
as what's there now.
As what's there now currently. So echoing the blue from the hood. So like a really nice dark blue.
Yeah, it's a dark blue. There'll be a contrast stitch in it, which along the theme of our accent colour, that'll work quite nicely.
And they are Cobra Nagaros.
Nagaro,
yeah. So, but very custom.
And
Cobra
so
Nagaros.
the plan with those, and I mean, Cobra do this as in kit form, but just so that it's clear to everybody, fantastic seat, really, really cool. They have been able to allow for the heated proportion of the seats. This is a car that had heated seats from factory. You can use a heated seat mat out of another BMW model within the Nagaro seat, and retain all the factory wiring underneath.
Yeah.
Which I think for this car particularly is really important.
Yeah.
You also do have a pneumatic lumbar adjustment on them as well. There's a number of choices and ways you can configure that seat, but because it had heated seats, why not keep them?
Yeah.
It's a really nice feature actually, especially in a convertible.
Yeah.
So there's a bit more expense, yes. There's a bit more faff, yes, but it's such a nicely integrated piece of the car. When you're colour matching and everything else, it just makes sense, you know. And again, you know, you can do stuff on a budget. You know, you can have the cheaper end of the spectrum, but that heated element and everything else, being able to retrofit them into those seats, it makes such a nice product.
And I think we've said a few times, because this is a convertible, it's going to look amazing on the outside, but you want the roof down, and that centerpiece, the focus needs to be the interior.
When you're in the car, hood up or down, that's the bit you can't see. The coolness from the outside. So the area in which you sit, and this kind of goes back to our promotion moment. Our sole driver's tagline is that it is all about the connection between man and machine. It's the bits you touch, it's the bits you feel. Car's quite a tactile thing when you're sat inside it. So the way the seats hold you up, steering wheel that you hang on to, everything you touch and you come into contact with within the car. It makes that connection, and you can have the best handling, best performing car on the planet, and if the interior finish is cheap, it just doesn't feel premium. And flip that on its head, you can have a pretty average car with a real nice interior, and it's a lovely place to be. Good or bad weather. So it's as important to finish the interior out well as it is to make it look cool from the outside.
And there's some nice, a bit like we're starting to reveal more and more of the trick bits we put on the outside. There's some really nice trick bits that we're doing on the inside to bring outside in that bronze colour on the wheels. You'll see that reflected in lots of bits of the car.
Through some of the interior areas. And again, not to the stage where, we're not going to litter the interior with all these suddenly different finishes. It's got to be cohesive, and we do it a lot. You look at any of our other cars or other builds by both the project cars and the icons, it's all thought through. Where do we place the colours subtly so that it makes some sense? It doesn't feel too overbearing in there. It just looks nicely finished out. That's the important bit.
And then the last bit about the interior, which is the bit that's a bit mind-blowing, is the rear seats.
Yes.
In an ideal world, we'd have buckets in the back.
Initially the conversation was, can we put 2 more bucket seats in the back, to which I think I said categorically no.
But we can try and make the back seats look like buckets.
There is a plan to utilise the shapes of the Nagaro seat overall, so there are obviously bolsters and various shapes and stuff there, to take that element in effect and place it within our current fairly smooth rear seat area, and then obviously trim to match, so that you can almost see it as a 4-piece or 3-piece in that case set. Just if you do carry rear seat passengers, they've got a bit of extra support in there as well, because it's going to go around corners quite well, this car. You're going to need some support.
The nice thing, you can see just how wide the tyres are as well. They're big old tyres for
big meaty rubber under there.
So there you go. So I know it's been a while since we've done one of these, but as you can see, a lot of work has taken place. And I think some of the stuff, you kind of, knowing you, I know how long some of these things have taken to develop and so on.
That's always the difficult bit. It's very hard to make that transparent, is that I can create within reason almost anything, but it's the amount of hours it takes to lay something up like this from a basic prototype and get it like it is now too close to a finished piece. There's hours and hours and days and days.
And you've done that here on the front bumper, on the rear bumper. On the side scuttles, everything.
In between doing everything else. And that's always the problem.
And a fully rebuilt engine.
Well, the engine was most of the way there before, wasn't it? It just hadn't been fired. But that's always difficult. There's only so many hours in a day, and there's one of me. And
anyway, guys, what do you think of the progress so far? Put it in the comments below. I'll put all the details for Darren and Bulgari. As always, massive thank you to all the partners that we're working with, because there's a lot of people. In the last video, what we'll do, as I think we've said a couple of times, we're going to detail all the main bits that we've done.
And who's the best place to go for what, and some pricing and ideas, so they all know.
But if you enjoyed that, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. I am now very excited about coming back. Maybe before Christmas, don't know.
Definitely something else before
Let's
Christmas.
do something before Christmas.
How close we are by then, I don't know. But I have to deliver this to John on Christmas Day, won't I?
That's
there you
not
go,
going to
mate.
happen, mate. That's definitely not going to happen.
No, it's not, you're right.
Anyway, you take care, guys, mate. It is a pleasure, as always.
Pleasure,
Enzo's sat there. He's been very good, bless him. Look,
He's been ever so quiet.
he's guarding the car.
Yeah, he's just keeping an eye on us, make sure we're doing our job properly.
Exactly. Anyway, you take care, guys. Drive safe.